Welcome to another episode of Business Talk, a podcast presented by Business West and sponsored by Greenfield Cooperative Bank. I'm George O'Brien, filling in for Joe Bednar. We have a terrific show for you today. We have with us Julie Quink. She is the managing principal of Burkhart, Pizzanelli, PC, the accounting firm based in West Springfield. How are you today, Julie?
I'm doing well, George. Thank you for the opportunity to sit and chat with you this morning.
Okay. Julie has something else to add to her title these days. She is a difference maker, one of Business West's difference makers for 2026. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We have Julie on the show today to tell her story, but also to promote our Difference Makers program. It's coming up. The event is April 7th at the Log Cabin. If you want to purchase tickets to that event, you can go on our website, businesswest.com, go to events, and then go to Difference Makers, and you can order your tickets right there. And you should order tickets because we've got a great class of difference makers this year. In addition to Julie, we've got Ryan Alekman and Robert DeTuza, partners at Alekman and DeTuza. We've got Rochelle Hanoush, she's the Director of Youth Violence Prevention and Court Support Programs for the YWCA. Jess Miller, comedian and founder of the Kind Squad. Darby O'Brien, owner of Darby O'Brien Advertising. Edward Sokolowski, managing partner and wealth advisor at Pioneer Valley Financial Group. Margaret Tantilla, executive director of the Odell Women's Center. And Zeno Temple, he's the founder of the Just Us movement. And Julie Quink, managing principal at Burkhart Pizzanelli. You're here in the middle of tax season, and we thank you for doing that. I'm sure you are as busy as you can possibly be here in mid-February, but thank you for putting aside a couple minutes. Julie is being honored for a number of different reasons, for the work that you do at work, for the work that you do in the community, and for the way in which pretty much everyone that you work with or teach at Elms College refers to you as a great mentor and role model. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. But let's start by talking about accounting and tax season. This is the middle of tax season, but you're fond of saying that tax season never ends now.
We're experiencing that tax season never ends. I've been doing this is my 35th tax season. Fortunate enough to have worked with some really great clients along the way. What we find is that clients always need accounting services. So even though our season is compressed a little between January and May, we do a lot of nonprofit work, which ends up in May. But we're busy all year round. We really want to be a trusted advisor for our clients. I often say that we are in the relationship business. We happen to prepare tax returns and do financial statements and do consulting, but it's really about the relationship with our clients. And so that keeps us busy all the time.
And this season is probably a little bit busier than many of the others. The horror stories I've heard. And the parties after on April 16th. So I hope you make it through. Just, about a month and change left. Mm-hmm. So good luck to you down the stretch. So
thank you.
Anyway, again, you're being honored as one of our difference makers this year, again, for the kind of the balance of the work that you do at work and at the community. And I kind of want to start there because there's a lot to do at both ends. You're involved with a lot of different groups within the community. We're going to get to that in a minute. But you've also got a lot to do as managing principal. How do you find the time to balance all this? The popular phrase we hear is that we find the time, but how do you find that time?
Balance is always a difficult thing, and this is what we talk to our team about all the time. It's something I work on all the time. We sort of look at everything on a daily basis. If you feel like your day has been balanced, then that's a successful day. I think it's about where you want to spend your time. We all work at the firm. It's a very stressful season, as you mentioned. But finding those things where we can devote some time, take a slice of our day out and go do something that we love. Most of us really enjoy being involved in the organizations that we're involved with. If we can just carve an hour of time, even an hour of time talking today with something that we enjoy doing is really what helps us sort of balance our workload and also our commitment to the community.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the workplace and how it has changed. Haven't been around as long as I have, been around quite a few years. There's kind of been a changing landscape within the workplace. There's far more emphasis, and here we go with that word again, balance. When you and I probably first started as professionals, it was just work, work, work. Don't think about balance, just get the work done. Talk about how the landscape has changed and how you as a manager have responded to those changes.
If I can recall to when I started my career, and I'm dating myself, I started with one of the big 8 firms. There was no balance. It was work and expectation of work. And if you wanted to be in the profession at that time, that's what you did. And so sort of we've come full circle with that. And now we find that our team really wants to have work-life balance. Work in their career is important, but their family, friend time, community time is just as important. And so we have evolved our culture. Thankfully, our founders, we're celebrating our 40th anniversary this year. Our founders were smart enough to build a culture back then that was respective of family time and business time. Family has always been first for the firm. That's sort of, I guess if we were to say the Burkhart Pizzanelli way, family, community, and work all have equal parts. Family a little more heavily weighted. But I think just being aware, we're very much in tune with our team, very much in tune with what their goals are, what's important to them, and just making sure that we're doing the best we can with meeting those needs. The work has to get done either way, but we've maintained a real degree of flexibility, which I think is really attractive for them.
Talk about that culture a little more. Was this like a learning curve, kind of adapting to these? I mean, the culture existed before you got there, and you're kind of continuing that tradition today. But talk about what it's been like to kind of enhance and work within that culture.
As I said, I think that we were very, very lucky to have very proactive founders, and it really was not a difficult shift for me joining the firm. I joined the firm in 2011, and the culture was very strong, and it's always been a culture of listening, and I think that's really what's been key, is just listening to what works for people. We really value our team. If we didn't have our team, we wouldn't be able to deliver the great service that we do to clients and be very responsive. And so I think it's always been a listening culture, and also being proactive about things that need to change and shift.
All right, we'll get back to that in a second and take a quick break. This is Business Talk, a podcast presented by Business West and sponsored by Greenfield Cooperative Bank. We're talking with Julie Quink. She is the managing principal of Burkhart Pizzanelli, or Burkhart Pizza, as it comes up if they call you. Always got a kick out of that. I'll have a double pepperoni with extra. No. Anyway, we're talking about culture. We're talking about the workplace. You talked about listening. This is an acquired skill. And every business manager I've talked to says it's important to listen. How do you become a good listener, and what makes a good listener?
I think for me, how I would want to be treated, I sort of treat everyone else. And it's really important that our voice is heard, and it's really important that our team realizes that their voice is heard. I have a magic door in my office.
I do too.
Once the team member or my fellow partner, whoever it is, a client comes through my door, if there's a trouble, a success, something, more specifically a trouble, the rule is they have to leave it in the office. They can't take it with them. It's my job to help them secure a change, or we resolve it. But I think that's really important. Listening is really difficult. It is, you're absolutely right, and it's acquired skill, but really so valuable. The realization when a team member knows you're listening to them, really meaningful. And I think that's really helped the skill develop along the years for me.
There's stress in every business. There are deadlines in every business. There's pressure in every business. It just seems, and not just during this compressed tax season, but year long, there's a lot more of that for accountants. How do you manage all that and help employees deal with all those deadlines and stress and pressure and people and personalities and by listening.
We do, but also a reminder that you're not used to people, clients, yourself, unless you can keep your own cup full. And so making sure that they're taking time to do the things that really are important to them, the things that matter, health, doing fun things. We do fun things as a team. We see each other, most of us see each other 5 days a week, and we still want to do things with each other at night or on the weekend, and just getting some time to unplug to make sure that you're really doing what you need to be doing for yourself first.
Very important. Right, let's talk about your work within the community. You're involved with a number of groups, a number of causes, Square One, Bay State Health, Munson Savings, I believe, a lot of groups and organizations in the Quabog area, which is where you're from. Talk about how you choose to get involved and what you choose to get involved with.
It's important for me to give back. There's two groups that I devote most of my time towards. It's usually youth and I like to say more mature adults. I think because it's just, that's where my interest lies. It's a conversation we have with our team all the time about getting involved in something they love. I find that I receive much more back than I feel like I give. And I think the organizations, we gain a lot of knowledge, business knowledge, a lot of different knowledge through our career, and I think it's really our responsibility to give back and share. It seems like every nonprofit needs a good accountant, and so that's a really good spot for us to be in terms of providing expertise. For me, my most important groups that I work with are organizations I'm involved with our children and older adults.
Talk about how getting involved is part of the culture at your firm and how you get other people involved and how that involvement goes beyond adding up numbers and doing the books, as they say.
We encourage our team to get involved. I find, at least for me, it helps me be more well-rounded. It gives me perspective. It also gives me experience into organizations that we do work with, and we have like clients that are in our inventory. We allow our team to leave during the day, whatever it might be, whatever the meeting is, whatever the event is. It's under company time. We encourage them as a network to build their own business through these relationships, and so we encourage that. That's part of our culture, but we also provide them the time to do that, and I think that's a great incentive for them.
Okay. And you managed to get a lot of people at the firm involved in a lot of these different things, like I believe it's called Operation Warm Up at Square One. Talk about that a little bit.
One of my favorite things that we do. Many years ago, Chris Allard and I sat in a conference room, and Chris talked about the children that Square One serves. And midway through the conversation, we were both in tears. And just to see our staff, our team, interfacing with these young people who have their brand new coats. We've been very fortunate to have some really great supporters of our campaign. This last year, we raised over $10,000, which equated to about 400 new coats for the children at Square One. To see our team members' faces light up when these kids are trying on a brand new coat, some of who have never had a new coat, is amazing. It's life-changing for the team.
Okay. Well, life-changing is a good word for it. So,
it is.
Anyway. All right. Well, that's all the time we have. I really want to thank you for coming in, again, in the middle of tax season. Good luck with the rest of that. Good luck with everything else, and we'll see you on April 7th. That's the date of our Difference Makers event at the Log Cabin. We hope all of our listeners can come and be part of that, and salute Julie and 7 other truly remarkable individuals and groups. It's going to be a great night.
Thank you, George.
Okay, thank you for having us again. This has been another episode of Business Talk, a podcast presented by Business West and sponsored by Greenfield Cooperative Bank. I'm George O'Brien, and we'll see you next time.